Oh, we're back, baby. Can you believe it? We are live. CornerCade 2.0. Get up or get out the way. Get hype, baby. Let's go. We are here live finally. Felt like it's been like a month, guys, since we've done a live stream. Yes, what you see behind me is a completely different backdrop as we're streaming live from a new and improved, maybe, CornerCade 2.0, man. We got a lot to catch up on tonight live with you guys in the home arcade community because I've kind of been watching streams, but guys, you got to fill me in because I don't know what's going on right now. I've been so concentrated on moving and grooving and setting up all this stuff, guys. We've had a lot of issues. We did a lot of painting, patching, you name it. I felt like Tim the Toolman Taylor in the house doing all this stuff, but man, oh man, we had to get our internet set up. I mean, it's been nonstop action. Obviously getting the kids all set up and everything, and my wife and everything, comfort, got to decorate the house. The arcade came kind of last, and actually my wife got to help me hang some signs behind here as we're just starting this out. Oh my God. This is going to be one hell of an adventure, guys. Gear up for another hour of the Let's Go show. Sunday Night Live, Sunday Night Heat. We're going to get this party started off right, guys. I already donated memberships, but you know how we do. I want to play my favorite sounder. So let's go, baby. All right, so some of you got memberships. 10 lucky viewers to the CornerCade crew now are in the house, so you guys can see all that exclusive, cool content. But guys, let's go. I'm not gonna do this alone tonight. No. I made a phone call to a friend, and we're gonna bring him live. But just a second, I just want to play this.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, God, this feels great. It feels great to be back, guys. Oh, there's so much to say. There's so much to do tonight. This is just great. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my man. Jay Pace is in the house, baby. Jay Pace, this is the place to be right here. Let's go, man. Welcome aboard.
How you doing, Danny? Very good to be here. Very glad to be here, buddy. Man, it's been a long time since you've done a show, and thanks very much for having me, man. I'm psyched.
Yeah, man, this is great. I know I wanted to do a little something with you. Actually, in the old arcade, I kind of shot an invite your way and said, hey, look, like let's come on the street, come on the show, let's do something. And dude, moving, I totally underestimated. Like next time we move, because this is not going to be permanent, guys, we're just hiring people. We're just going to hire people, and I don't care how much it costs because it was literally exhausting. Like, it was the worst. Moving sucks.
I want to interject. Let me interject. I'm so worried about moving with movers because there's been some horror stories. I don't know if this translates down to the States, but there were some horror stories about moving companies in Canada. What they would do is they'd get your stuff in their moving van, and they'd basically hold it hostage. They would drive over to your new place, they'd keep it locked up. You show up, you've got all these deadlines, you want to get in there, and they'd say, oh, we can't unlock it, the truck's locked. And they're basically waiting for you to grease the skids, like financially. They tell you, this is the scam. They tell you to call the office, and you call the office, and the office is like, oh, it's locked right now, but we can, expedite the unlocking if you can just transfer, an extra this or that.
Oh, that's wild.
Oh, what? Dude. And first, listen, it gets worse. And I'm not going to go on and on because this is a short scam. I'm almost at the end of it, where you call the cops. You're like, I remember I told this to my dad. He's like, I would just call the police. Well, this is the worst part. You call the police. The police show up and they say, we legally can't cut the locks to get to your stuff because the locks and the truck is the belongings of the trucking company, and that's a whole separate thing. You got to get in it with a lawyer. You need to get like a court order to get us to be able to come in there and snip the lock. I know. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, I would be so worried about movers moving these little beauties. So I just moved. Yep. I moved a year ago. And I had the money to have movers, and I said no. I had my brother-in-law and my brother and myself and my sons and my wife and my sister, and basically we did it all ourselves over the course of a day, and it was just
it's an all-day event.
These are precious goods, right? Like,
Yes, they are. I was lucky enough to have my father-in-law is like a trucker and he is an expert packer. So he packed this thing packed. In fact, I didn't even put any protection on these guys. I didn't put any bubble wrap because that would be very costly. And the only damage that I had was on the bottom of Alpha 2. The faux molding was kind of bent a little bit, and all I did was put my thumb, press it back, and it's literally nothing. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty good for moving and all that jazz, considering I'm a rookie and I had no idea what I'm talking about. All right, Jay Pay. So we got some topics to talk about tonight from, Iconic Arcade, Arcade 1UP, and who knows where we'll go with the show. But I did want to say hi to each and every one of you guys in the chat, lucky enough to be here and be present. So we got the Garage Gamer. You're back. I didn't even realize you left. Come on, Garage Gamer, wake up. I've been gone for almost a month, I think. It seems like it's been forever. Retro Day is in the house. Thank you, man, for stopping on by. Welcome back, Danny. Salute to you too, man. Thank you for tuning into the show tonight. We got Tim, Dr. York. You guys got to let me know if my internet's any good at the new place, because this is a big concern of mine since I've been choppy in my past couple of streams. But Tim York says, evening, Danny and the CornerCade crew. Thank you so much, man, for being here. Stanzy B is in the house. I thought Danny left the Home Arcade YouTube business. Seems like he's gone for a long time. No, my friend, I moved. Well, technically, I did move the arcade business. We just moved to a new place. So let's go. And I gave out those CornerCade crew channel memberships. I know Provolone Joe is a CornerCade crew channel member. He says, welcome back. Now back to Tuesdays. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if it fits my schedule. Constorm Entertainment is in the house, man. There was a huge Xbox showcase today. I'm not. I mean, Jay, is that something that you like the console gaming, right? I'm not prevalent to that. I stick to the arcades.
I'm PS5. I'm a PS5. Not that there's anything against Xbox. It's just Pepsi Cola or Coca Cola. I'm a Sony guy. I'm a PS5 guy. So we can talk about James Bond First Light on PS5 if you want to.
Yeah, I've always been. That's funny. I've always been a Sony guy myself. PlayStation all the way. And I like Coke. If we're talking about Coke, Pepsi, I'm going Coke. But yeah, if you guys want to talk about that, I would have zero input to chime in. When you said it was the best game since 007 Golden, I'm like, oh, I remember N64 days. That's where it's at right there. Tim York, Dr. York, Dr. Torque says it's gonna take a games list for me on Double Dragon. Yes, the Double Dragon talk is going to start up, guys, because it is. I mean, we both Jay and I both have our iconic arcades. I love that we have each one of them. So I had the Alpha 2, you got the World Warrior. It's great. And now we're on to different pastures with Double Dragon, and that's something that I'll definitely want to get, add some diversity to the arcade. And I would like to see a games list too, even though, Jay, to be quite honest with you, I would just be playing Double Dragon 1 and 2. That's all I'm kind of really interested in at that point. So
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But I'm also with Tim York, where he's very concerned about the games list. I want to know what the games list too is, because Double Dragon 1 and 2 will be the marquee games, the games I'll probably play the most. But yeah, there's going to be maybe another 13 or 18 games on there.
That's wild. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. Yeah,
it is. It's just more speculation. I'm hoping we hear good news about Double Dragon. I think John has the pre-prototype, not the golden sample, but maybe the sample prior to the golden sample.
We'll talk about that. I saw that, and we'll get to that, because I did see, I got snagged a picture. I got some thoughts about it. Maybe a little feedback, but it's cool. This is really cool to see like this stuff, man. How cool is it? Like, dude, John has the cabinet already. He's playing it tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, how cool would that be just to be able to do that? So hopefully with that all out of the way, I'm sure, he showed the picture for us to give feedback on, right? And there's going to be a lot of different products coming out from Arcade 1UP and Iconic Arcade, and really Wonderland Amusements too. I mean, those are kind of like the big three now in home arcade, with kind of at games just kind of outside of the bubble, at least in my opinion, right? If you want to throw at games in there and you got 4 big companies, that's great. That's good. That's more competition, more better. And then obviously you have, Quarter Arcades, New Wave Toys, and all of the other ones that kind of make these home replicate products. But this is going to be really exciting, really cool for 2026. I'm hyped. Stanzy B's in the house. Thank you, man. Looking good. This is just the beginning. We didn't even get like track lighting yet. Like, we got a long way to go. I'm going to kind of divulge a little bit on how much room we still have and all that jazz. Alan, I know you sent me a message and email. Jay, to be honest with you, I got a lot of messages and a lot of emails. So kudos to you, CornerCade crew, supporters and followers. Like, Danny, where you at? When are you going to stream? Come on, let's go. Like, I'm like, guys, I'm trying to get this set up, but the arcade was the last thing. Like, guys, I was building bunk beds. I'm doing desks. I'm getting mattresses. We're putting, dressers together. The arcade was the last thing that we were putting together, kind of thing. The family comes first, unfortunately. It just is what it is. We got to take care of the kids, man. We can't just play fun and games all day. So, Julio Hernandez, thank you so much, man, for being here and being a channel moderator of mine. Jason Little Alien, thank you so much, man. I'm always hyped. You can't take that away from me. That's the one thing. Chicago arcade guy B Kirby is in the house. Thank you for being here. We got Gabriel Gray. Let's go, dude. We're here. Dude, all these familiar faces. This is great. Putting a smile on my face. You guys are making it feel like home again. Because when you go in a new place, you're like, this isn't really home. You're trying to get adjusted. And now, like, it's weird, like, just looking around even. Like, because the cool thing, Jay, about our place is that we can do whatever we want to it. So if I wanted to start painting the walls or painting the doors, I mean, I got new carpet. I got gray carpet now. This is great. This is something I always wanted. So it's a totally new experience, and it's pretty cool. I mean, we haven't moved in like 10 years. So it's been quite a long time. Nasty Nate is in the house, CornerCade crew channel member. He bought 2 cabs for me, and he had me sign both of them. I mean, how cool is that? So those are now in his arcade. Let's see what else is here. Yes, Double Dragon is going to definitely be sick. See, like, Double Dragon is not like it's like a must-have for me, but it's like a new game. It's a new form factor. Let's bring it on, and we'll talk about that again. We'll give my thoughts and opinions. So, guys, keep the comments rolling. Mystery Encoder's in the building. Where's this Timu 19K Fox come up? Stop it! I have not known Timu anybody. Stop.
That's maybe me. Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm the Timu Fox. I'll take that as a huge compliment.
Maybe Jay Pace, maybe that's you. Let's go.
Huge compliment. I'm the cheapo. I'm the dime store Fox. I'll take it.
We'll take it. That's funny. Super Dimensional. Let's go, dude. Yes, we are flexing our XTs very hard. Trust me, we love these things. ASO Jax Media Grounds, thank you so much, man, for being here. Goofy Foot's in the house. Let's go. See, look, it's Pops. You could literally be my dad. I can't. Oh man, I'm dying. I'm sure I have like a sounder for that. Let's go. There you go, guys.
There was a comment from Tim York. It was early on, and he asked about if I had the G.I. Joel riser on my Mortal Kombat behind me.
No, I'll tell you right now, it's not. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you already know.
Dude, yeah. Come on, Jay Pace, please, please, stop it. So that's got to be the buy stuff one, right?
It's nothing. It's. Oh,
you just did it yourself?
Yeah. Well, I had my brother-in-law. He machined it out, and I painted it. That's the only part I did is I painted it. But it boosted up a good 5 inches, which was, I thought I had to do it. I was originally playing it, and I was getting back pain. I'm almost 6'2", and I just was getting back pain. I'm like, I complained to my brother-in-law, please help me. And I paid for the wood, and he's a little master with a CNC machine, and I painted it up, and it's the perfect little boost to it. I would get a G.I. Joe riser if I lived in the States, but to ship one of those things up here to Canada, I thought, hey, I'll be able to do it cheaper on my own.
And this is the entire reason why XL's the way to go. So huge supporter of what G.I. Joe did with those inline risers. We had like 10 of them, right? And all of the arcade for deluxe projects, you can go back on the channel and see if you want to do that to your stuff, in your home arcades. But we were always modding these things to make them bigger and better, putting 19-inch screens in them, raising them up. They were too small, but they worked for what we didn't really truly realize the XL size until they became available. I think the biggest one was, Golden Tee, Shack Jam, and Pac-Man. Pac-Man really breaking that mold to where everybody can see, I have one too. It's like, oh wow, this is like, it's just better. It's just like the screen's bigger, like the marquee's not in your face, it's like a little bit above you. It's just better. The control panel's at a more comfortable height, and where where this really started was when I had the opportunity to buy KI Pro from Moat. And once I got that, I was like, yeah, this is the future. Like this, I can't do this deluxe anymore. Like this is just better. You know, can you imagine a Mortal Kombat in this form factor and so on and so forth? Blitz, NBA Jam, right? And then where the tipping point was, like that's where it was like, dude, this is it, right? Where the tipping point for me was when John D announced he was partnering with Iconic Arcade. This is the arcade that is sitting behind me and sitting behind you that we're going to make, and we're only making XL sizes. And I said to myself, I gotta go XL. There's no looking back now. And it's really cool that like Arcade One Up Basic Fun has kind of understood that, and they're pressing hard in the paint for their Supremes and extra large cabinets. So I'm very excited to see that, and we'll talk about some of that stuff because I haven't been able to get the smile off my face for like 2 weeks. So we'll talk about that as well. Stupid Fat Habit wanted to say hi to you. It says, hey Danny, did the CornerCade move to Andon, Indiana to follow your Bears? That's great. They'll still be called the Chicago Bears, but yeah, they're about 20 minutes in Indiana now, 20 minutes away from Soldier Field. So Fat Hawk, thank you for being here, man. That's right. We're back, baby. Get hyped. Okay, let's see. Dan Z, if I didn't say hi to you, hello, my friend. Thank you for stopping on in. Okay, where do we want to start? We were talking Iconic. So I had a picture here, and let's do... How do I get... There we go. Okay, so this picture was floating around. I would assume this is John D's house, and this is where he did that infamous video where he was being held hostage, you know? Right? So this is better news. This isn't depressing news. This is great news. This is...
Oh, yeah.
This is Double Dragon now, and you can kind of see what it looks like. You know, if you are an XT cab owner, you know, of any of these, you can kind of see where everything is. Now, it's interesting to me, and I was kind of zooming in on this picture. I'm like, oh, we can see the games list. Oh, son of a bitch, this is running the Street Fighter pie. So I don't even know if Double Dragon's on here. So this is a very early production where I think John can kind of get in his house and be like, okay, this is where the black levels are. It's the marquee. Everything's lining up. There's no bezel cut off, you know, this, that, and the other, right? So Jay, when you saw this, what do you think?
I first off, to see them all together like that, it's like to me, that's a real arcade. It's like, to me, that's a piece of a real arcade to see those 3 9/10 machines lined up side by side like that. The only thing I don't like is when it's so squeezed like that, you don't see any of the side art on Double Dragon. Not that it's got extreme side art, but it does have legit, you know, that's the correct side art that the actual machine has. So that's maybe like a tiny little negative I would say, is that if you stack them that close, you know, you can't look at the side art. Neo did point out, Paul from the Arcade Insiders pointed out the coin door on this thing. And I was like, I commented to John, I was like, does that take dimes? Is that dimes? Look at the coin door on this thing.
So, yeah, so that was one of the things that I saw. Apparently, it does take tokens, quarters, you name it.
Yeah. I guess just the way
I don't
it's
know if
illuminated.
I don't know if they're experimenting with stuff. I will say this. Guys, let me know in the chat. Is that something that like is a feature that you want? Because to me, I could personally do without it. I will say this: if you want to do something like that, just do the Killer Instinct Pro thing and press the coin slot button to coin up. I think that's kind of cool. Right?
I would love that.
Yeah, like that. I think that is where, because twofold here. Now, again, this is probably a very early prototype of this thing, but the coin door illumination looks different. Which, again, OCD aside, it doesn't matter because all the arcades are different, right? But the coin door is lower on this one, and I don't know if they have to fit certain gizmos and gadgets because of that, and it looks completely different. And I understand that every coin door was different; they weren't the same. But I think I think just doing the press would have worked for this. You know, if you want to do that, right? Which you don't even have to do it. Like on the Killer Instinct Pro, yes, it's cool to be able to bend over, press a button, and be like, yeah, I'm coining up again. But I very rarely do that, right? Like, I think my kids might get a kick out of that. But they know when I say, Logan or Amelia, you got to coin in, they know to press the right button to coin in. And they got to hit it twice to add 2 credits, and then hit the start button, and it's go time. By the way, for those people that are like, hating on this XT Alpha 2 World Warrior. Like, I've had nonstop blasts with my kids with this thing. They love Street Fighter Alpha 3. And surprisingly, they love Third Strike. And those are new games to them. They were playing the old Street Fighters of past, the World Warriors and the Super Turbos and all that jazz. But these games just hit different, and they love playing with it. It's so funny how they just gravitated towards that, and it's just been nonstop fun. So I'm really excited about that. And we really haven't even scratched the other games. Like I dabbled in Final Fight and Giga Wing 2. We played a little Cyberbots on there, but they didn't really. They just always went back to Street Fighter. That's like what they were having fun with. But I think this looks cool. It's really cool to see it finally built. I do have a suggestion, so we'll put a suggestion in the suggestion box if this gets to John D, Iconic Arcade, and the Media 1UP team. You got to do the CRT filters. Okay, that is 100%. I mean, Jay Pace, have you played with the CRT filters on? Okay.
Yeah, and I only did that because everyone else was hyping them up. Otherwise, I thought, I'm not a big CRT guy. I would rather have the sharper look. And then as soon as I started to play with it, I will say some games benefit from it more than others. It seems like there's just some of the Street Fighters. They seem to really just clean up when you throw the CRT shader on it. It blends it out just enough. So I have played with it, and I think it's such a cool feature. What other arcade game has ever had a feature like this that you can throw on CRT shaders and you have the option?
None.
None.
That's why. Yeah.
I think if I was running an arcade company, I would make the decision to do it or not do it. I would say we're either going to go arcade authentic, boys, and everything is going to be CRT shaded, or not. And I wouldn't allow users to select the option back and forth. So to have that ability, you can have one game CRT shader on, next game not, back and forth, whatever your preference is. It's awesome. It's awesome. To me, that's one of the many reasons why Iconic Arcade, to me, has a pretty high score. All the faults intact. We can talk about those. Hopefully those faults are going to be corrected sooner rather than later.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
100%. By the way, I didn't realize till now, like I realized when I was eating before the show with you, but nice Galloping Ghost shirt. Like I didn't even say anything. Like it's great. I got to get there, by the way. I got to go there. Zeke has been wanting to take me. We got to make a field trip down there. No, never been. And I know I will go absolutely banana sandwich. You guys think I'm hyped now? Like, God, you haven't seen nothing. I definitely got to get my ass there. So the CRT shaders, guys, I'm telling you, if you haven't messed with it, I made a believer out of Dr. Torque. Okay, he actually was watching the show. I told him and everybody else to put them on and go play the game and tell me what you think. He never came back to the show. Like that's how good these. I'm telling you, man. If WrestleFest had this, oh my God, it'd be unbelievable. And guys, listen, this is just a feature that you could turn on and turn off. So what does it matter? You know what I mean? Like just include it. So if Iconic, I know that Peter Van den Bosch said he's kind of working with a little bit with Basic Fun. If you can let the Iconic team like give the CRT shaders and stuff to Basic Fun, my God, please, we could have all these awesome, cool CRT replica lookalikes on both sides of the company. Would just be mind-blowing, right? It would be so cool. But I'm telling you, I've never taken them off. I put them on, I tried to take them off, doing the review, and it just made everything really bright, and it didn't look as good. And I'm like, wow, this looks so much better with these filters on. So like, I'm a true believer of them. So hopefully Double Dragon will have that. Now, I will also say ball tops. We got to have ball tops on Double Dragon. Every Double Dragon cab I've seen in chat, let me know, we're going to get tangents in a second, has had ball tops for the joysticks. So that's one thing that I would throw in the recommendation bucket. Let's do that if and all possible. And then obviously the coin door thing. So we can kind of, I would rather just press it, but let's get the community's feedback here. Okay. So we got Provolone Joe, man, those coin doors, lights on Double Dragon are dim. I think it's a prototype, but yeah, I think just stick with this. And if you want to just press it to coin up, that's good. That's good. And then plus I don't have my kids always putting coins in there and jamming the whole thing up. That's what they did on the At Games pinball. They were just having too much fun, and they jammed like 4 quarters in there. It was a mess. Fathog says, I'm out on Iconic at $7.99. It's still an MDF Raspberry Pi build at the end of the day. To each their own. I think this is probably one of the coolest cabinets I have ever owned. And when I say, guys, the 10 out of 10, I recommend, yes, it's a figure of speech, but this cabinet truly is fantastic. And you don't know until you get it in front of you. Jay Pace can explain it. We will divulge and kind of maybe some of the flaws with what you think. But at the end of the day, the positives outweigh the negatives, in my personal opinion. That's why I recommended the product, and I still do to this day. Yeah, Zero Redux says the coin door is a little low, like just move it up a little bit, because the coin door is already kind of low. You know, it's already kind of a little bit low. So yeah, you don't want to have like a Time Crisis coin door where it's touching the floor, you know. Okay, I Am Rappy said Fox had a video on his show sent from John D showing quarter rolling through it. Yeah, I just think maybe that's kind of gimmicky. Would we really like have a stack of quarters in our pocket? You know, like trying to play that. I don't know.
You know what I would do? I'm going to show you what I would roll through it. Hold on a second.
Okay, well, you're doing that. Let's see.
I hope this shows up. I'm going to see if I can hold it up to
you
the
get your
camera.
You get your own tokens?
Oh, yeah, that would be next level, but
let's see here. Let's make it full screen.
I'm going to really get it. Maybe. Let me turn it over. Let me turn it
Arcade. Oh, the Galloping Ghost.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So this was given to me by Doc Mack. I got to meet him. I gushed over everything he's done with.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's so cool.
Oh, it's beyond cool. He gifted me this shirt, and my wife as well. After he might have just given me this shirt just to get me to shut up, because I saw him walking through the arcade, and I'm like, oh, dude. And he walked over to me, and I don't know, 15, 20 minutes later, I got the shirt and the token. Now the token has a story, and I'm not gonna tell the story because it's kind of a cool secret story. When you go, Danny, and you will go, maybe you'll get to meet Doc Mack, and you can ask him the story about the tokens that he made for Galloping Ghost and why he made them. It's a really cool story, and I don't want to steal his thunder. It's mega neat. When you go, we gotta. I'm gonna go this year for sure. I'm gonna try to get PD7 down there. It would be like a cool, fantasy to have you there, PD7. Moat, a bunch of people. James Hates Everything. Just get everything. Get everybody that could go or would want to go. It's
a hop, skip, and a jump for me. So yeah, it's about an hour and a half drive. So I will say this:
8.5 for me, buddy. 8.5 for me. But I've already.
I will be taking a trip, and I'm very excited. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. But yes, this is going to be the start of maybe some many cool things. Provolone Joe says functional coin doors is something the community has always wanted for a long time. So if you guys really wanted that, let me know. Put your quarters on the glass. That's right, Gabriel Gray. You're gonna have to do that now. Okay, so it's just like a channel pass-through. It's basically the same as the 4KP. Coins go in, they pop down in their turn. So it's kind of just gimmicky. Like the 4KP did that. I thought it was kind of cool, but then once you do it the one time, you're like, okay, I'm over it. So I'd rather just have the molded coin door. I don't know, I guess, and then still kind of make it look like the other ones without trying to be maybe too OCD. Jason Lalalian says they should just make the button active and use the Y wiring harness to the USB encoder so this is kind of what we were talking about. So that's how you coin in, by pressing the button. That's what I think we should do. I don't know. It's kind of what we have kind of landed on there. Yes, we're still waiting for online play, so we could talk about some of this stuff. Sort of like maybe the negatives, but not maybe the negatives. So
no, these are real negatives. They're no online and going to Raspberry. To me, I don't know. There's negatives and positives to it, and we can get into that later.
It seems like people have been having problems with this thing, like sound issues, video issues. I mean, cross my fingers. Let me see. Mine is still running good, so I don't know what's. Yeah, you still got the sound. Yeah, you still got the sound ready to go. So.
and I'm playing it every
No, it's
day.
just
I'm
yeah,
playing
it's
mine every
great.
day.
I know it's Street Fighter too. Can you? I can't wait till like all these titles come out. You know, we're supposed to get a rumored like what 10 total that you can select from in the XL size. This is going to be really exciting. So, yeah, I don't. I don't. So the online play for me, it's like I just want it for updates. So if you were to pass something through, just give me an update. I don't have any intention to play online because you can't even communicate with the person. Like if I could talk to you, Jay, and we were talking
Well,
smack back and forth, that's a whole new level.
yeah, this thing can have the ability for you to hook up Bluetooth headphones and headsets and mics. I don't want to confirm that, but it does have the ability. It's got the little USB port, 2 USB ports there. I haven't personally tried to hook up a Bluetooth wireless headset. I'm guessing it would work. It should work.
That would be interesting. Like if you could do that, okay, that would be cool. Like I want some online play then. Can you imagine like a couple buddies like playing, beat 'em up, right? Final fight, right? Whatever, right? And then, we're all talking smack and having fun. Like that's a totally different game changer then. If it has that ability, then my God, online, where you at? Like you got to bring it. Because if you're going to advertise it, right, as a feature, it's got to be there, right? So like that's something that like I understand, and they got to push it through, right? They got to get that 24/7 working on that. But
I bet they're focused more on the problems. I'm not there, but if there's a lot of fantasy talk tonight, but if I was in charge, I would have my team focused on the problems that people are having with the sound, and people are having problems with kicking into that red, green, blue test screen or whatever, and it won't shut off. I got I'm just going to call him out. I got Gabriel Gray, who his went to the point where he couldn't shut his Pi off. He made a little video about it. And I know there's a bunch of other people, in that same boat. So I'm hoping to get online sooner rather than later. I want online for the co-op stuff, not for the fighters, but for the co-op stuff. The Magic Sword and things like that. We can all team up together. But prior to that, I'm hoping that John and the Iconic Arcade team are focused on coming out with a firmware patch or a way to fix everyone's problems that's got a cab that's down right now, because I feel for them.
Dude, I would be furious. You know what I mean? Like you've waited this long, you've paid X amount of money, and now you run into this. Like, yes, all hands on deck need to
think
be
about how long
everyone's
waited. Everyone's waited
exactly.
so long, and to have this on top.
And I'm telling you, Iconic Arcade, I'm telling you, Jay Pace, you're gonna laugh. Chat community, I said this many times. I said, listen, Iconic did a great thing, giving these out at $550 discount. We had to wait. Make $550 again for Double Dragon. I'm telling you right now, with these type of issues, you're going to turn people off real quick. Sour them back to say, look, we apologize. We're fixing these issues. This was really our first kind of cabinet we've ever done. And complete. We're going to run into some roadblocks, along the way. But here's something to give back to you, right? $550 Double Dragon would be absolutely unbelievable. And I think that might get some people back on the hype train while they kind of work through these issues, get everything ironed out completely. So for when Double Dragon hits and so on and so forth, title after that, everything's good. Everything's gravy. They're not running into these issues. But I'm reading the chat here, and apparently Fathog is saying that these shaders, these CRT shaders, are open source. Anyone can use them. So Arcade What Up Basic Fun, use them. I did not know. I didn't know this. Jason Lillian says, given that the Iconic is using a Pi, easier to run the shaders on there. Okay, so they're not an Iconic invention. That's crazy. I thought that was like what Ryan Saunders and the Media One Up team were working with and doing. So maybe we just haven't seen them because, Arcade One Up PCBs weren't that strong to be able to run them. I don't know, but that's really cool. If they're just like an open source thing, let's do it. That's awesome. I love it. Reverman says, Reverman Retro. I think a lot of people, it is not the quality of the cabinet or the pros and the cons. It's just a simple fact of the price. it's just too out of reach for most people at $800. You're not wrong. I loved getting the deals. I love covering the deals. My last deal I think that I ever got, J-Pace, was a deluxe Miss Pac-Man, the black and pink one. I think it was like $240 or something. Brand new in box from Walmart. Yeah, they so Walmart, I don't know if you remember this. I made a video on it actually. Walmart, when you ordered like the peasant-cade version,
I remember
right?
this.
They were just shipping you the deluxe.
Yeah.
Like I think B Kirby was the one that put me onto this, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm ordering one, and I was like, what a great deal! Like, I would love for these cabinets to be at $250. Hell, if you want to do the deluxes at $250 and these XT cabinets, these the Supreme cabinets at like $499, I'd be jumping for joy, right? I'd be jumping for joy. But for those of you that are you already have like your home arcade, like this is where you have to kind of sell off. If you have the stock to be able to do so, sell a couple cabinets, you'll sell 2 cabinets, you get one of these guys. Like, let's be honest with you guys, like look around your home arcade, J-Pace. I don't know what you got behind you there, but I mean, if you could part with Dig Dug and Blitz to get Double Dragon, yeah, I'm going to do that 9 times out of 10, right? Like, so some of these, when you look and you see the repetitiveness of these cabinets, because you got like 5 Pac-Man cabinets, it's okay to let some of the stuff go, to be like, look, I'm going to just let this go because said title now is coming. I mean, think about it. Let me just put this out there, right? If you were to give up Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe, and I don't know, I'm just trying to throw something out there, a Street Fighter, Yoga Flame, right? To get, I don't know, an XT Area 51, would you do it? Like in a heartbeat, right? Like,
yes.
So this is kind of like a shooter. Can you imagine an XL Supreme? Oh man, we're gonna get a Supreme Outrun. I'm sorry, we're gonna get to some of this stuff in a second, because man, the possibilities are endless. Like, you do that in a heartbeat, right? Like it's just, I don't know. To me, it's you can see over some of these things as far as pricing goes, but if you're brand new to the market, if you're brand new to home arcade, yes, you're gonna have to pay out of pocket ASAP. And I mean, a lot of us did, dude. J-Pace, I was one of the ones that paid $650 for Dragon's Lair, and I only owned it for like 3 months. It was a dud for us.
So when I first got into the space and I started to pick up on you and your channel, you were at the point where you were actually making the argument against XLs at the time, because you were saying you could fit in more deluxe. And I thought you were like an enemy of home arcade as far as I knew it, because to me, listen, I only got into it because of the Pac-Man XL, and I got into it because, it looks like the hobby could be going to this newer form factor, and there was all these rumors that I was grabbing onto about maybe a Star Wars XL and all these other things. I thought, wow, this is a great hobby to get into, because I'll be able to get other not giant, but more authentic size arcade cabs. And to hear people like you saying, and I thought you were, this isn't a dig, but I thought you were way more connected. I thought you were like an influencer initially. I thought, oh no, to hear someone like you, it sounded like you were like directly connected with John D and some of these companies. And you were saying, basically, stop the presses on XL, stop the presses on these larger cabinets. And over time, I know you've done a 180. And I actually, on that note, I just want to say a quick little side note to you. You actually helped me define what my home arcade was going to be. After the point of you coming out saying you favored deluxe more than the XLs, and you started to go into that transition back and forth, you came up with the phrasing. You said, I think it was a whole argument about multi-cades versus more of an authentic arcades. And you said, and I'm paraphrasing, you said, we're building these arcades not to have the most amount of games possible on them, but we're building these arcades to bring back the arcades that we knew, that we grew up with. And to me, I was like, I was right at that point where I didn't know what I was doing. Like I had Pac-Man, and I maybe had Tron at that point, or one other cab. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And to hear you kind of say that, I kind of just set my direction, where I thought, yeah, I can build an arcade a mini arcade that reminds me, gives me the vibes, gives me all the cool feelings I had when I was a kid going into an arcade. It's not about the amount of games for me, but authentic arcade controls, authentic look, and the authentic size now, what we're talking about. We finally got with Iconic Arcade and now Basic Fun. I'm so happy that we're here and we're moving into an era like this.
And that's what makes this hobby so special. You know, there's nothing wrong with multi-cades. For you multi-cade owners out there, great. Like enjoy the games, enjoy the retroness, enjoy the throwbacks. Nobody's taking that away from you, you know. But an arcade was not 50 multi-cades that you just walked into. An arcade was like, I'm going to go to Time Crisis, I'm going to play that. I'm going to go to this game, I'm going to go to this game, I'm going to go to this game, and that's how it is in anyone's home arcade, right? So I go play my Street Fighter, then I'm like, okay, I'm going to play a round of WrestleFest, I want to get beat, okay, I'm going to hop over Pac-Man, and like, that's what the arcade was, and to see the visuals, the vibes, the neon lights, the signage, like all that stuff, it just brings you back to a different time. It's a cool time, and there's a lot of cool things that, you know, I can divulge into what we're going to do in CornerCade. What did you call this? CornerCade 2.0, 3.0, whatever. So what we're going to do here, you know, we're going to have like an eatery. We're going to have a pinball alley. As far as getting arcades in here, dude, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We only got 6 machines, 7 if you want to include the pinball. We got room for like 20. So I'm waiting for these companies to have at it, Haas, and let the selling begin. But yeah, that's and when you say I'm a fan first, you know, I don't get on YouTube for like money or anything really. I get on YouTube like to talk to the people. This is such a cool, passionate hobby. And it's crazy because some of it takes away from what I love to do. Like, I would be playing Alpha 2 right now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be eating my burger that I was eating pregame show. But I got on here, you know, with you, Jay, and the community, and we just talk about it, right? Because we love this passion about this hobby. It's just something else. It hits different. It's great. And that's like, to your point, like the vibes. And yes, I am told certain things, but I love to be a fan first, and I love to just be excited with you guys, and I don't ever really want to know. I mean, I wish companies would give us a roadmap, but I don't want to be told. If they don't do that, I don't like being told, okay, this is what's going to come out. You know, it's kind of cool. It's kind of, you know, but you do want to have that surprise aspect, and I'm going to be surprised once we talk about our next topic, because that's there's going to be, well, I guess we could kind of transition to it as I continue with you guys. I mean, we were talking about pricing on this thing. Mr. Murphdog says, let's talk about the shipping. He lives in Hawaii. Just to get this to him, the shipping is almost $1,200. That is insanity. So for you guys that are like, hey, $800, I'm out. I mean, this man, plus he paid more for the machine. I mean, he's literally at like almost over $2,000. So that's crazy. So that's a whole nother thing. And Mr. Murphdog is committed to that. You know, he got the Alpha 2, so he's hyped. He's excited. He's ready to go. Hold on, I gotta stop the arcade's open now, and I have my cat scratching at the door. Hold on, Jay, you take over the show real quick.
All right, alrighty. Man, what are we going to talk about more? What's up next? We got
that was a fantastic takeaway.
What are we going to talk about next? Is that a good segue into nothing? Just
That's great. Yeah, I don't know what my cat was sniffing at, but she was scratching at the door. I'm like, Pixel, what are you doing? Oh, by the way, I don't know if Steve Sale is here, but Steve Sale, behind the scenes, he was like recommending. He's a big cat guy, so when we got our cat, he was like, okay, get this, that, and the other, and make sure this, that. So one of the toys that he recommended, we got, and Pixel loves this thing. It's like her baby kitten, and she drags this thing everywhere. So thank you, Steve. My wife reminded me of like, yeah, that's the one Steve Sale recommended to us. So that was very, very cool that he made some recommendations, because she absolutely loves that. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, there we go. I remember Deluxe Danny. You can fit more arcades in. Guys, I guess it's well, here. Take this away. You had to also understand that the old arcade 1-up regime at the time, this was it. So whatever new titles you wanted, you better buy in mod, and each one of those mods is about $1,000 to do. So we talk about price on these things. I was just like, this is exhausting, right? So there's a give and take to this. Oh, and for those, we'll talk about modding real quick. the parts and components for the GI Joe mod is all in the building. I have the cabinet here. I got the graphics. I got the internals. Now it's just up to me to put it together. And we're in the middle of moving and stuff. So we will be making a video on our GI Joe mod for GI Joe Supreme XL. Oh, this thing is going to be badass. So I'm nervous, Jay, about putting the pie in this thing because I have no idea what I'm doing. And people have been having pie issues with the Iconic. So I don't want to have pie issues with this cabinet. Oh my God. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I can't wait till you get it. I voted for G.I. Joe. I can't believe it ended up winning G.I. Joe. I thought for sure.
I thought for sure. Yeah, X-Men was like, okay, my wife's going to get her X-Men XL. And then just swung to G.I. Joe, which G.I. Joe is a great game. I learned about it. So thank you, community, for educating me on that. Never played it. I still have never played it, but I've seen a lot of gameplay. The theme music's awesome in that. So let's go, Joe. I'm ready to go for that one. I'm very excited. Dr. Torque, who's getting the TMNT Wonderland? Yeah, I'll be picking that up regardless. It looks really, really cool, so I'm pretty excited about that. Jay, do you have a Wonderland pinball?
I don't yet, and I kind of feel like a little bit of a charlatan because I was pushing Mike B to try to get information to see if they were going to ship to Canada, because for the longest time TMNT, he was saying it wasn't going to ship to Canada, at least initially. And I was like, I hope they will, and as soon as they do, I'm probably going to jump on. So the day came, and I sat in front of my computer, and I had my finger kind of hovering over the pre-order button for TMNT. Bottom line is, I want to see more long gameplay. I want to see somebody get into that thing, sink their teeth into it for like 10, 15 minutes.
Yes.
Not to knock it, but just to have kids on the outside and you're showing the external and you're showing the quickest, just shots up and down. I just would like to see the way that like Stern, when Stern shows off all the releases, they always have like an hour-ish or 45 minutes long play, typically a couple days after they've released the game. And I always just love it. I can't believe I'm watching somebody play a pinball game for 45 minutes or an hour, but I'll watch it because, they're the pros, they're the best, and they're talking about and they're showing off this brand new machine. Like for me, Transformers for Stern, I was already in love with Transformers. But the fact that I saw the way the gameplay works, wow, I'm in love with that machine. But back to TMNT, I'm so pumped that it's available, and it looks like they're like Wonderland's kind of they're like a runaway hit. The fact that Alice in Wonderland, TMNT, I think they're talking about a third one, which is going to be maybe Wizard of Oz. I'm psyched. I'm pumped. I like the idea of in the future, and I might get TMNT once I see the gameplay. I know I'll have to pay more. I could get it. I like the IP. I like Turtles, I'm just happy that they exist, and I'm happy to see them succeed. Just like with Iconic Arcade, more competition is always a good thing, and to have a company like that that's being innovative and bringing new product for a really compelling price point. I want to see what they're doing. 2 years, 5 years from now, I want to know what kind of products they're going to have. And people talk about having maybe like a dozen of these things lined up. I think that's awesome. Like it would be like your own, just like we're trying to do with, our own nostalgia arcades. Someone could do that with pinballs, having, a half dozen or more of these Wonderland machines, which is awesome. Awesome. I applaud the company. I hope they're successful. They've had some teething pains. They've had some stumbling blocks, and they're pushing forward, just like I know Iconic Arcade is too. I think new companies, new products, when you're coming out with something that's somewhat revolutionary, or you're really pushing the envelope, you're going to have problems. To me, that's a mark of success. If you're pushing the envelope that hard and you're actually starting to break things, it's almost a good thing to kind of know where those boundaries are. It sucks that it it's falling on us, the owners, that we've got the problems, that this wasn't worked out in testing. Yeah, I want to talk later about a point that Moat brought up in Discord, where he was talking about the RF shielding on the cables. And that's, again, back to the Pi and the way this thing was wired and put together. I think that's a worthwhile point to discuss. I'm no electrician, but I really trust my instincts. And there was something about what Moat said. I was trying to picture, why are these people having these problems? They didn't have the problems out of the gate. I don't want to name names, but there's this, we all know people that had the machine. It worked. It worked for X amount of days, and then it stopped working. And to me, that's part of the investigation. That's part of like the mystery in my head. I'm trying to figure out what could possibly be triggering these things to have these problems. So yeah, like I said, I'm no electrician, but when Mo said the RF shielding on the audio cabling, it's a little, it could be better. Where the Pi is located, again, that could be better. How the wiring is set up, I think we would all like to get away from that look of like spaghetti just in the back of it.
It was,
if they could have cleaned it up.
Yeah.
The aesthetics aside, if it's creating a serious problem, though, I just hope they're on top of it. I hope it can be solved with, you know, some kind of quick kit or quick fix where they're saying, open up your machine. You're going to move this wire to this side of the machine, this wire to that side of the machine. I don't know, where they send out an, I don't know. I have faith they are going to fix it. I have faith they're not going to leave people hanging. I hope it's an easier fix. I hope they can come up with a firmware update, and there's nothing to do with us even having to open the cabs. But I don't know. And I know this is speculation on my point. I know I'm running my mouth. You know, I don't have answers for you guys. I wish I did. I wish I had some kind of an insight or something. But all I can say is that my instincts, when I heard Moat talk about the RF shielding, I was like, wow, I wonder if that's what it is, because that's something that would, in my mind, that's something that would build up over time. You know, somebody playing the machine. I also don't know if, and again, this is just pure speculation, but if you've got the machine wedged in beside other machines, if that is going to impact the RF shielding at all. I just don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be fixed sooner rather than later. I want those people that have the problems with Iconic Arcade Street Fighter to get their machines sorted before online comes, or maybe at the same time. You know, wouldn't that be a nice thing where they say, well, we fixed everybody's problems with the visuals and the sounds, and we have online, you know, all at the same day? That would be a big push. And yeah, anyone that's I'm going to stop talking. I'm on a mini rant. I'm going to
no, you're good.
On to the next.
I let you have at it. My Pixel is, you know, we just talked about her. She was taking care of business. There was like I was looking down because she was patting on something. I'm like, it's like a huge black spider that was moving. And I'm like, oh, I got to get this thing now. I couldn't wait for that. So I hand him over to my wife, and she flushed it down the toilet. But kudos to the cat for coming through on the rant. I let you take the wheel and drive with it. Yeah, I mean, I'll touch on this real quick. The Wonderland pinball, buddy, you got to get this. I'm telling you right now, the physical pin is it just hits different from virtual pin so much that I'm moving towards the Wonderland pins. That's where I'm going. Okay, that's how much it hits, and I have no nostalgia for Alice Goes to Wonderland at all. But I think it's Dr. Torque put it in the comments. The modding possibilities of this thing is literally off the chain. It's endless. If you've seen the Facebook groups for Wonderland, it's insane. It's incredible. But even if you didn't mod it at all, it's still a phenomenal experience. And I absolutely love it. I do not get sick of it, but maybe that's just me, right? And I think with Turtles, it might take it up a notch because there is some nostalgia there, right? There is some familiarity with the IP, right? And there's more, so you're a little bit more invested, right? At least me. And to have like two of those and have like a little, I think we can fit three. I'm not sure, but we could definitely check the spacing. But to have some of these lined up for like a mini pinball alley and to have the neon lights and stuff, it's just going to be so cool. So I'm very excited to see where Wonderland Amusements is going. I did, to your point, buddy, reach out to Wonderland Amusements, and they're going to send me some footage. I don't have it yet, but they're going to send some footage of some gameplay. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like an exclusive. I'm very excited. So we'll see what happens with that. No, not promising anything because I'm depending on them. So we'll see. They're going to try to put something together because I think, to your point, a lot of people want to see some extensive gameplay. You know, you said Stern does it. Some of these other companies do it. So we'll see kind of where that goes. And I think maybe it'll kind of sway people one way or another. And hopefully it sways them to the direction of actually being like, okay, yeah, this is something I want. This is something that's pretty cool because now I can actually see it live and see some more gameplay instead of like those, you know, action shots that they do for the commercial. But yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of see. It's going to be interesting just in general for 2026. And like to kind of get into that, guys, 2026 has already been amazing for some of these products that come out. Like, believe it or not, the Iconic Arcade is a win, even despite some of the kind of issues that people are having. You know, it's easier for me to say that because mine didn't take a crap on me yet, but we'll see. And then obviously the online thing of that. I mean, we got WrestleFest. Jay, did you pick up WrestleFest at all?
Yep. I got WrestleFest. I don't know if you can see it just off camera. I'm gonna try to see if I can turn this thing.
Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
WrestleFest.
Love it.
And it's running
you put the
running the buy stuff mod.
And you got you got the stickers on there. God, can you imagine that being G.I. Joe? It's gonna be badass. I can't wait for it. This is gonna be cool. But do you plan on making that a 2-player at all, or is that like your 4-player kind of multi-arcade cabinet?
You know what I love about it right now more than anything else is being able to play the dual stick games. Like I just played Smash TV the other day with my son. Karate Champ.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Xenocrisis. Falling in love with Xenocrisis. Aliens is my favorite movie of all time, and to have a game that uses dual sticks and you're running around shooting aliens and you can co-op with someone else, I love it. So yeah, if I turn it into a 2-stick, I couldn't go 2-player Smash TV or things like that. Yeah,
that is cool. That is cool. You can play 2-player Smash TV. That's really neat. Yeah, I know. I think Greg over at 99 Lives has made a 2-player control panel for the WrestleFest. It looks great. I might pick one up. I don't know. We'll see. He does charge like $180 for it, but man, the craftsmanship on that is just it's next level. So we'll kind of see where that goes. But I wanted and plan to keep G.I. Joe a 4-player because that's where I can kind of put all my 4-player beat 'em ups and all that. So that'll be neat. It's interesting to see your space here. You know, if you crammed all those together, you could fit another arcade in there. Just to let you know, you'd have to sacrifice the side art though, so you wouldn't be able to see all the cool happenings on the side art.
Yeah, I could pack some more in. I like being able to show off the side art where I have the cabs now. I know when I bring in Double Dragon, it's probably gonna go beside my other iconic. It's gonna go beside Street Fighter. So
bring the camera that way. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
So it'll fit in where Pac-Man. Oh, right here. Okay, right there. Okay, yeah, I see you.
It'll go that way. So
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I got space. I'm hyped. I can't wait. As soon as Double Dragon opens up, I'm ready to go. Yeah. I hope this stuff is sorted. You were mentioning a price drop. Instead of a price drop, I would rather just have them go on the merits that they fixed every single problem that anyone's ever had right now with Street Fighter.
Yes.
I mean,
do both. Yes.
Fix it and have online.
Yeah.
And I guess, it'd be nice to be able to have a price drop as well. If I want Iconic Arcade to succeed. I want the gamers to succeed. I want everybody to succeed. But I'm concerned that Iconic Arcade's probably already taken a little bit of a hit as far as their profit margins. I shouldn't care about this, but I want the company to succeed. I want them to be strong. I want them to keep bringing out new products.
We all do. For those of you that bought this cabinet, we do. We want them to 100%. but I think they got a little bit of wiggle room for Double Dragon. Let's at least hope. That would be nice. Let's see. Hey, by the way, Michael B said, "Poor JP is how is he bamboozled to be here?" Well, hold on a second. You guys, we're about to break Home Arcade, and I think if we talk about break, I think I got something for that. So J Pace, let's do this.
This is Home Arcade breaking news.
All right, Jay. Dude, I'm so excited, guys. You have no idea, guys. If you are a YouTuber, I think for those of you that watch us, you can kind of understand that this does take a lot of work, right? It's not, there's a lot that's invested in this time, creativity, money, you name it, right? That we invest into the channels for whatever purpose, but it's finally paid off as far as growing our audience for my channel, Jay, and maybe yours if you start one as well. But guys, Arcade 1UP has picked me to go to Comic-Con. Oh my God, I was so, dude, when I heard this news, I was floored. They first sent me the invite and said, Danny, we'll have a pass for you at Comic-Con. I'm just like, yeah, okay. I'm not flying halfway across. Actually, from the other side of the country. I'm not going to California. I got kids. Like, I don't know that kind of cachet. Do you realize how much plane tickets are? Are you out of your mind? But they said, Danny will take care of most of the expenses. And I'm like, oh? And I said, okay. And guys, I'm not the only one that's going. James Hates Everything, Bill, Michael B, Moat. There's a panel of 5 of us have been selected. And guys, Mike B, I'm gonna see you in California, baby. Let's go.
I already apologized to Mike. I said I was in the small part. I helped convince you to go. I was like, Mike, I apologize to you in advance. I think Danny's gonna go, and yeah, you guys are gonna have a great time. I'm really jealous, and take a lot of footage. I don't have to tell you that. Take all the footage, take all the pictures you can. Try to get hands on, get behind the scenes. Just so
Jay, what do you think? This is my first rodeo here. No, just kidding.
Oh, I know. I don't have to tell you. Yeah,
this is gonna be. With a lot of these events, I try to do content. Like I wanted to interview Wonderland when I went to the Pinball Expo, but you're just so caught up in the moment and talking to people that you never even pull that stuff out. So now I gotta make footage because guys, the reason why they're flying me and others out, guys. And 100% Mike, separate checks. Mike, you got my lunch. So the reason why they're flying us out, guys, is because Arcade 1UP Basic Fun is doing a massive reveal on their Supreme cabinets. Now, we've been down this road before, guys. And Jay, were you the one that broke that news to me live on? Who was it? You that said it was somebody in the community? Oh no, it was Jim, the Pacers fan. I think it was Jim, and Jim said, "You might want to take a look at this because we were looking. We were live, and we were like, okay, come on, refresh the browsers, guys. CornerCade crew, help us out here. Where is this? Where is this announcement?" And I was like, Sonic, the hell? Like what? Like we waited for Sonic, and so they did now. They did this announcement, right? And we now saw that cabinet, right? And we're all just like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what Arcade 1UP was promoting? Now, as time has been kind of passing through, we kind of understand, okay, it's like, okay, if Jay, had Sonic, my kids would go nuts over that, right? They would be playing it and have fun, but it's just, there's no nostalgia, there's no retro 80s and 90s nostalgic for me from the arcades for Sonic, right? And we've all already been down there. But they're going to be announcing 2 new Supreme cabinets. Now, let the speculation run wild, Jay. I mean, what do you think this could be? We've heard a lot of rumors. You thinking a driving cab? I know it's not going to be Mortal Kombat XL. So, guys, Mortal Kombat Supreme is coming. I think it's going to come a little bit later, though. And I've stated this numerous of times. I kind of guessed it right out of the gate. The Arcade Insiders kind of gave it away a little bit from their mannerisms. I'm like, oh, dude, it's Mortal Kombat XL. So I've been going around confirming that all the time. But yeah,
I think that was a safe bet. Like if you look at WrestleFest, like the fact that they couldn't just take WrestleFests and turn it into a 2-player, so it's a nice wide 2-player deck like you like. reskin it, Mortal Kombat 3 or 4, whatever, wins the vote. And that's it. Like, you guys have the shell already. Put in better controls and
kind
buttons,
of. You're
please.
you're not wrong. So Jay, I'm thinking, and I sent this. This is great. Arcade One Up, it's been talking to me, right? So a little bit of direct messaging, so I can kind of maybe push a little bit of, hey, this. Let's just see, right? So I showed him the Killer Instinct Pro pictures, and I said, this is the midway form. This is what you guys need to do for Mortal Kombat, right? And so you're not wrong. Like, but when I see WrestleFest, I kind of think a little bit almost more Konami shape, because they don't have that like inner panel that kind of comes out. It's kind of hard. I don't have a Killer Instinct Pro picture, guys, to show you. So, but for those of you that seen it, that own it, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But yes, that you have kind of like the bones of what you're going to be kind of going off of and making and creating. And again, you just add those wings and the midway style, and you're pretty much there right now. What with both of these companies now, and Iconic Arcade and Arcade One Up making these cabinets, this is just great news. Now, as far as we get, Mode's making me laugh in the chat.
Yeah, he's going for the figures. Oh, something else? What did he say?
Yeah, he's going. I saw that too. He's going for the figures deal. Yeah, that's right up Mode's alley, man, with the toys, dude, for sure. Now, Stanzy B is 100% here. Arcade One Up better not disappoint. When you're flying out 5 YouTubers to Comic-Con, they better bring it, right? This is crazy, guys. I've never, believe it or not, J-Pace, I've never traveled alone. When I traveled with family, when I've traveled with friends, when I traveled for baseball, when I played college baseball, we traveled on planes stuff. I was with people. I'm by myself. I'm a little nervous. I got to be honest with you. Even at 40, I'm a little nervous. But hotel, flight on the docket, ready to be booked. So I'm excited. Just at the end of the day, this is just such a cool opportunity. I do want to personally, I've already done it, but I want to publicly and personally thank Arcade One Up for reaching out to me. They sent me some swag too. So I got a t-shirt. I had this little keychain right here. Just cool stuff, man. Like, this is what we've been begging, Jay, of this company in the past, and they just have completely ignored us, right? Like, Mike B has been barking up an Arcade One Up apparel tree for like 5 years, and they all the time just said no. They never listened. We know better. And so it's just refreshing now to see this 180 turnabout. So you got to give to Arcade One Up. They came out with WrestleFest. Yes, was it perfect? No, but I think it's a great cab for those of you that own this. You've either loved it or you've modded it and now you love it. But I think it's cool stuff all around that what they're doing. So I'm very excited to see what this big reveal is. I mean, guys, we're T-minus, a month and a half now away from this thing, where I'm going to see it in person. You guys are going to see it once we release the content of it, the pictures, the videos, you name it. I'm going to try to obviously get an interview while I'm down there with the reps from Arcade One Up Official. For those of you that thought Arcade One Up Official was Paul Mindeman, it's not. So would it be funny if we actually saw him down there?
Yeah, Paul's there with a fake mustache on or something, right? He turns, he's like,
yeah, he's like, it was me all along.
He's got a wig.
I would be shocked. Can you imagine it's Cyrus behind the account? Like, can you imagine? So I don't know who this person is. So we're going to find out. We're all going to see it. It's going to be very exciting no matter what. So I'm thrilled to be able to have that opportunity and just to be able to cover this product. I mean, Jay and everybody else, we'll all fiend for this. We're hardcore fanatics. So it's going to be really cool just to see what this is. I truly, at this point, guys, I have no idea what these cabinets are going to be. And Dr. Torque says he's crossing his fingers for Daytona. So there are a lot of people kind of leaning towards the driver. Has there been any clues? I know I've been kind of out of the loop here for the last couple of weeks. Has anything been kind of, was it 80s, 90s? Is there any clues out there at all?
No, ask the chat. I haven't heard. I wish I heard more. I keep asking. I keep seeing the same thing over and over again. I want a shooter. I want a racer in the XT size form factor. But I haven't heard any. Everyone's really quiet, but to have this hype and the expectation that something great is going to come, I love it. What's the saying? Anticipation makes the heart grow fonder. So we're all anticipating something great. It's great to have hope again in this home arcade market, and you're going you're riding the hope train, baby. You're riding the hope train.
We're back, baby.
Right into the promised land. You go to the promised land, buddy. And
rather go to the promised land than like right into the ground, you know? So this, yeah, like I said, this is exciting. This is, I don't know. There was a lot of speculation on like, you know, an X-Men 97 type cabinet. I think it has nothing to do with the theming of Comic-Con. I got to be honest with you. I just think that they're going to be there. This is a big event, and they're just going to showcase these brand new 2 arcades off that hopefully I will be jumping up and down and into Moat's arms, into Bill's arms, into James Hates Everything's arms, into Mike B's arms, and we can just celebrate as one. This is going to be like something cool, some cool title. And Mike, I'm gonna make it back. I promise you. I'll go live because my flight is scheduled to be back in Milwaukee International Airport at 5. So we're gonna make it. I might just do a live stream right when I get home. Can you imagine the jet lag? B Kirby got swag too. So Danny, who else got swag? B Kirby got some arcade 1-up gear, so that was pretty cool. I got stickers too. I don't know what my kids did with them, but it's cool to see that they're reaching back out to the community. Dr. Cork says I'm 100% on a big Mortal Kombat, even though I got the Joust Rampage. Again, these XL size cabinets, the Supremes, the Extremes, they just hit differently. So you can revisit these where it's like Mortal Kombat's been done 1,000 times, but in an XL form factor, yeah, sign me up day one. You got the bigger screen, the bigger control panel, the bigger form factor, and they've been doing a lot of. I know Arcade Insiders have been running a lot of like polls. Like, well, what skin should we do if one comes out, right? First of all, you wouldn't be running a poll if one wasn't coming out. So obviously it's coming. We just don't know when. I think it's going to be a little bit later. But I said Ultimate MK3 because we really, truly haven't gotten a really good one of that. And the button scheme that is on there for that run button is already set for there. So to be arcade authentic would be perfect at that point. But honestly, MK1 would look gorgeous. MK2 would look phenomenal. They all would look good. And at this point, you should just make them all, you know, because people of MK fandom are going to want to buy all of them and just line them up, right? Like, that is some cool stuff. So hopefully they do something like that. I think they maybe should dip into the Iconic Arcade suggestion and release 2 SKUs. Maybe you do a Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate and you do a 2. You know, that would be kind of cool. Give people some sort of options. You do a little half and half action, but I don't know. What do you think?
I think that was hard to do when Iconic Arcade did it. I don't know if that was just part of their lack of communication strategy where they weren't really talking to people. And when they finally did send the vote, you know, we had 7 different choices. How long did it take them to come up with those 7 choices? I just, I go back to what I said before. I want these companies to succeed, and I don't want to hold them back by peppering them with too many demands. There's an alternate world where Iconic Arcade came out with the authentic Street Fighter side art, where it's much smaller, it's much less dramatic. I think Mike B would have signed off on it, and I'm not calling Mike B out at all by saying he's responsible for the side art vote. I think he was one of the ones that maybe helped push it forward. And at the time I was happy for it. At the time, again, it's something that I kind of applauded. I thought, oh, it's so cool. This company can offer us, you know, I thought at the time, I just thought logistically, it's very easy, you know, it's just kind of like a snap your fingers idea where it's like, you say it and they're going to do it. But then you think in the back end, what they've got to do to design them all, figure out, all the logistics of just talking to the consumers, getting the votes in, tabulating them, coming out with a new design. I'd love to hear multiple SKUs for all cabinets moving forward, as long as it works for the company, for the consumer. It doesn't hold up the product, you know, indefinitely. You know, how great would it be if a year from now they come out with like a Third Strike reskinned version of this little beauty you know, again, with online, all the problems fixed on her. Maybe this upgraded coin door, if they've, you know, they want to put that in as well. But yeah, the ability to kind of come out with new skins for these things, because they are kind of like multi-cades when you're putting on 15 or 20 games. I love the idea of being able to swap out like a marquee, like they're doing with the new Joust Rampage. Imagine they came, you could buy a Third Strike marquee right from Iconic Arcade. Man, I might be inclined to do that. So that's an extra business model that Iconic Arcade could dab into. In addition to, I think we've already asked them to maybe come out with like a pro kit, or to come out with sticks and buttons that are offered by them that are pro level or are arcade quality authentic sticks, instead of us having to go to a third party. Put that in house, and just have it as part of these options, these offerings moving forward. We're right at the beginning here with Iconic Arcade. I'd like to envision, a year from now, 2 years from now, they've got a dozen cabinets or more that are all wildly successful, and we're waiting for the new ones to come out from Iconic Arcade. And they've got different form factors like shooters and drivers. John has been teasing getting new licenses, which is awesome. He's really psyched and hyped about the licenses he's getting. He's letting us know about that. And as far as I know, when he's talking about getting new licenses, these are things that we're not going to see until like a year at least. These are like 2027 and out projects. So I think there's a lot of legs for Iconic Arcade to expand. Sorry, that's such a long answer to such a short question, but that's
no, you're good, dude. Yeah, that's so 100%. When we see these like licensing expos, 100%. That's like for 2 years out the road. That's why I don't really like divulge or talk about it or get hyped, because it's like stuff that was way down the road. We got to figure out, we got to hit A, B, and C before we can hit D, E, and F kind of thing. I know I heard some talk, like, again, there's some chatter in the chat here about like an X-Men 97 Supreme. That would be really cool. I would love, actually being in like a Dynamo form factor, maybe themed like Marvel superheroes or something. Day one buy, 100%. Because that would be, again, anything in these new bigger size form factors. I mean, think about it, guys. Literally, we have never gotten a shooter or driver in this size ever in home arcade, and we've been doing this, I don't know what, everybody's been doing it like 7-8 years kind of thing. So it's been quite some time. It has to come at some point, and I can't wait for it. I would like a Marvel superheroes cab. That would be really cool, and it might be piggybacking on its Sonic, and we'll actually get to play Sonic the Hedgehog in person. I'll be able to give you my thoughts on it. There's not much thoughts on it. I kind of already know how it's going to be, but I will say this, Jay, when you see renders of cabinets, it's one thing. When you see them actually built and glowing in person, it's a whole nother. It's like, man, this actually looks pretty cool, or whatever the case may be. When the marquee's lit up, you see the screen, you see the details and the textures of, each cabinet. So we'll get to see it too. It might be, it said probably something we've seen before, but not in a deluxe. So maybe like a rehash of something. Yes, that's right. Arcade 1UP did say this. They said it's something we've seen before. I mean, man, they've gone through a lot of titles. I mean, even like a Terminator 2 XL, Supreme, that would be badass. I literally just had my son ask for that title because he saw a picture of it. I got all my stuff here that I still got to put up on the walls, but he said, "Dad, can you get this one?" And I was like, I'd like to, but they're making it into a SkinnyCade. Maybe when it comes in a little bit bigger size. But Jay, you're thinking, what do you? I mean, they're not going to come with a Simpsons, like what? Like, I don't. Chat, help us out here.
I was wishing we had Arcade 1UP official in the chat to maybe just ask them just a little bit more, see if we could kind of tease a little bit more out of them. Because I thought that where Mike B made the point that, and I agree with the point he made, saying that we're going to see it in a deluxe where we haven't seen it in a deluxe before. I also thought Arcade 1UP official mentioned that they're bringing something that and this is a paraphrase quote, that no one has guessed before. I'm like, I'm going to go 90% sure that they said this, that no one has guessed.
So what are the obvious guesses? Like, what are the obvious guesses? And people have said Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. I'm just terrified when they said that. I think my response was, you're like you're scaring me, Arcade One Up official, if nobody has guessed, because a lot of the guesses are good. A lot of the guesses are like, I want that, let's put that on a list, that's obvious. And for Arcade One Up official to come out and say no one has guessed this other deluxe or supreme that they're going to have, oh wow, to me it's it just makes me think it's like something outside the box, which it makes me think it could be something else, like a Sonic else, like something else where no one saw Sonic coming. They've got some other IP that's weird.
But then they say it's a rehash of something they've already done before, so it's kind of so for your example, like I don't think anybody has guessed the two cabinets behind you, a Dragon's Lair XL or a Supreme or a Star Wars Supreme. I don't think anybody's guessed that. Comic-Con, that screams Star Wars, right? Like a little bit. No one's really kind of thrown that out there. Could we finally be getting our Star Wars Supreme? That would be one of those day one buys. They've already done it in the deluxe. Listen to me. We've already seen teasers of the box, right? We saw that. We showed pictures off on the channel. We've seen the Centipede Asteroids mashup, and we've seen the Supreme Star Wars. I don't know. That would be kind of cool. I don't know, man. I like what B Kirby says here. There's a few people who know, but a fish with his mouth closed never gets caught. I love that line. That's great. I love it. All right, let's see here. Okay, he also says you're gonna like what they have. From Arcade. Okay, Arcade One Up. Okay, so yeah, so Mike B saying, nah, they just said that no one correctly guessed their cabs yet.
Whoa.
Which is wild, because everybody could have named something at some point.
That's a lot of guesses, Mike. That's a lot of guesses from a lot of smart people. You'd hope that I don't know. Wow. To me, I would just that threw me off when I heard that comment that nobody has guessed it. To me, it's like, again, they've got something, and I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but they've got something that no one has asked for. Then, in a way, unless they know something that we don't, like, they know we want it, but we don't know we want it yet. What's that old saying from Ford, Henry Ford? If I had have asked my customers what they would have wanted, they would have said a faster horse. So go back to when the Model T came out. It's like the turn of the century, and he just does a big consumer poll. What should I build next? And everyone, I want a faster horse. Mine's too slow. Oh well, this. He's thinking ahead. I'm hoping these companies like Iconic Arcade and Basic Fun, Arcade One Up, they're leading us in a way that's positive. They're leading us in a way that's, it's we're going to be happy. We're going to be excited with the results. Sonic, I think, was a big, I don't know. I think it was really, really weird. I think one of the things a bunch of people said, and I agreed with, if they could have come out with Sonic after they already given us a couple, like a Star Wars XL, Mortal Kombat XL, then you come out with the Sonic. Okay, like, all right, you've served the community, and now you're coming out with some weird stuff to kind of fill in the gaps. But to come out with Sonic first and then say, no one's guessed this secret third cab, just makes me concerned for what they could be coming out with. And I hope it's going to be embraced by the community and myself, which I count myself part of the community.
I think it would be, because Basic Fun Arcade One Up wouldn't be flying YouTubers out for this if it was. We want to roast it live, So I think it's going to be more of a hardcore or just recreation title that we've kind of seen before. So Mike's guessing Tron Supreme.
Oh fuck, I'll take it.
That fits kind of like the comic kind of theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I accidentally sent Mike. So we were looking for hotels, and I accidentally sent him, I think Galaga guy said this, a hostel. And I'm like, What the hell's a hostel? Like, I accidentally sent that to him. I'm like, oh, wait, that's not what I wanted to send him. We're trying to find a hotel, not a hostel. And I quickly learned what that was. So, no, we're not going to be doing that. I can't. He has an infinity room dining room table XL. Can you imagine a supreme infinity table? That's wild. B Kirby was saying that too. Like the Iconics build structure on this double dragon is going to be better. I mean, I didn't really have any issues with the Iconic build structure. I think it was pretty sound. So that's some positive news, I guess. It'd be interesting to see what's changed and what's going to be different on that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a Pac-Man XXXXXL. I don't think it's going to be that either. At least I hope not. God, can you imagine? We're already going to have to deal with Sonic while we're down there. But yeah, it's very just, I think the key word here is interesting. Like, there's so many possibilities of what this could be. I'm hyped no matter what. I think I'm excited to be able to add, obviously, and Jay, we can add, some more XL titles, some Supreme Extreme titles to the home arcade and really get some good variety going. I mean, I pretty much stripped down all the deluxes. I have one left, and then we're going to start changing things around here. With our new arcade, I can fit, I mean, geez, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I can literally fit like 9 XL size cabinets along this whole row. And then the pinball here, guys, is going to actually be moved into like a pinball alley on the other side of the room. And B Kirby, I saw that real quick. Can I show this on the show, or what's going on? He sent me a couple pictures, so maybe we can show that on the show. But this row right here is actually going to get pushed like inward, like so there'll be like an aisle, and we're going to put calves back to back on both sides. And I think I'll put G.I. Joe on the end here because I don't want to completely block off the other room. So I think if we go 3 calves deep, we'll be good. Yeah, B Kirby sent me some pictures, so let's see if we can. I'll email them to myself so we can get them on the show here. Showing off Double Dragon's build a little bit here. So B Kirby's he's a carpenter. He loves this kind of stuff. Oh, okay. So Fox already showed them. Okay, cool. So we can show them on the show. All right, let's go here. Let me do this real quick. Jay, you can talk to the chat.
I was gonna say I'm impressed that B Kirby is a carpenter. He's mentioned a couple things about construction for cabinets and things, and it's great to have people that actually know what the F they're talking about instead of dummies like me that just do a lot of hopeful conjecture and our community is great. I love the fact that people pitch in just from all different aspects in life. Yeah, I love it. If there's any arcade companies out there listening, Mike B has some ad space behind him that he's willing to sell you.
Stop that! Stop it!
I think there's a 10% commission for any ad space that's sold. I think that's a deal we can talk about.
See, Mike has ad space, but what he doesn't have,
I don't have access to BJ's.
That's a shame, Mike. It's a shame.
I want to implore you to never use that again on Mike B's behalf. He's psychically asked me. He hasn't physically asked me, but I know he never wants me to use that ever again. I'm kidding.
Oh, dude, I can't. I'm dead. Okay, so we do have some pictures. So maybe we'll play like a breaking news sounder, or maybe we'll play this.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And I think Zero Redux really wanted. Somebody earlier wanted me to play this, so I'll do this for you guys in the chat. Here we go.
This is Home Arcade breaking news.
All right, so I think these are the pictures. So no, that's not the picture. This is the picture. There we go. So This is the cabinet design. Let's do this here. There we go. This reminds me of like G.I. Joe's inline riser. I got to be honest with you, just looking at this right straight ahead. But here we go. This is like the bottom portion of the cabinet. So it looks like it kind of screws into the side, apparently. So B Kirby maybe can touch up on this. You obviously talked to.
I remember. I remember a point B Kirby brought up before about the dowels. He said they should add some more dowels, and when he said it, I was like, oh, he knows what he's talking about, and I'll just echo that again. I'm wondering if they didn't take his suggestion to heart, and instead of adding extra dowels, they've got like these are going to feed in to the top, like these 4 pieces are going to kind of
act like
Lego,
like
like super
like
dowel
yeah,
walls or something. I don't know.
super dowels, yeah, like
I don't
that.
know, an idiot term, but
Jason says it's improved support for both halves. That'd be cool. I mean, like I said, the current unit of Street Fighter is great. There's really I didn't find any issues of structural integrity with it. I got another picture here. This is kind of like the top half here, and you can kind of see where looks like that light up coin door kind of connects to that. Is that the screen? Or yeah, that's the screen. It's really cool. This is when I see this kind of behind the scenes stuff, I always just get a smile on my face. It's just cool to see. But yeah, so B Kirby said, notice it no longer has the 2 little pieces of scabs. Oh yeah. So that was the biggest thing. So it was like those 2, like how Arcade 1-Up uses the metal brackets, so to hold the 2 halves together. But there was also wood pieces on the backside that was like the D panel piece or whatever those pieces, that intertwine with each other. So this kind of acts like both of those, so it's a little bit more. I could see now, instead of having the 2, just the 2 little twigs there holding it together, which is 4 total, you have kind of more of an elongated strip where now you can get the support from left, right, and center. So I can kind of see that. And it looks like the front piece panel is going to clip into there, and then this backside panel, maybe that's just that, the flimsy card paper. But the cool, I don't know, does that look like it's painted black? That would be cool if they were just black on the backside now instead of that brown. That would be cool. I don't know.
I had heard from somebody, I'd like to say it's John. Somebody said it is black on the back moving forward. Yeah.
That looks cool. That's just a more premium finish. It just looks better, right?
Oh, like especially if you're running the cabs, like you said, you might, if you start running them in the center of your room and you're going back to back, you could actually, depending on how you walking into a room or walking around your room, you could see the backs of the cabs in a way, a little bit, depending on what they're pushing up against. And to have it black, it's just pro. It's a pro look.
Everything is different. I mean, for people like myself, the backdrop is a little bit different because you don't want to cut off marquees, but it's always the arcade shuffle, like Alpha 2, for example, that's not going to stay at the end. You know what I mean? Like when and if there's a single player Supreme cab that comes out, that's where that's going to go. And I'll shift that down. I'll shift Double Dragon here, there. Like there's going to be, it's called the arcade shuffle, guys, for a reason. Every time you get one in, you got to shuffle everything together. And oh, beautiful. So black melamine over the MDF. That's definitely a more premium finish. I love that. We've been asking for that forever. I never thought it was too big of a deal, but now that it's here, it's like, okay, that's cool. Like that's just a much more premium thing. If it gets wet, it won't, kind of stain the MDF. You can wipe it clean. It just looks better too. Oh yeah. So Fathog said it's melamine instead of bare MDF now too. That's great.
Right on.
That's cool. So thanks, B Kirby, for sharing that little tidbit here. It's going to be interesting to see here when this actually comes to fruition. I mean, to me, my prediction was kind of any week now that this is going to be available for pre-order. So I think John really just wants to run through its paces and kind of check everything over and be like, okay, this is what it's going to be. We're signing off on it. I do wish, and you can kind of see that coin door, how it sticks out. You don't need that. But I think it's going to come anyways. It doesn't matter. It's a coin door. I don't even look at it when I'm playing anyways. But yeah, I hope that the lights are at least a little bit decently bright on that. So we'll obviously see what happens.
I think people will mod it if it's not. If it doesn't look like other coin doors, even if it's got a functional coin door, I could just see people putting on retro 530 doors, or just maybe doing a mod like I did with WrestleFest, where you're adding LED lights internally to it just to brighten it up a little bit more. Because to me, it's critical. Not critical. That's the wrong word. It's I want all my coin doors illuminated. To me, it's just when you look at the bottom of the cabin, there's the coin doors not illuminated. Just to me, it looks like there's something wrong. It just looks like there's something off.
Like look at your Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe behind you.
Oh, I know.
It's like it's broken. It looks like that. I knew that was gonna happen once I did it the first time. So I already reached out to Stock Jock and I was like, Stock Jock, I need like 17 of these lights, just in case. So I have a hog pile of stock. It's actually right next to me of all my modding stuff that I got to put away. But yeah, this is cool. And I hope that Basic Fun Arcade 1-Up kind of does the same thing. Just make these all illuminated so we don't have to mod them. It's an easy mod to do, but just make them illuminated so we don't have to do it. B. Kirby says, I totally have a lot of respect for John D. Listening to all of us, and the games list will be tight. This is cool. I have been watching, a good amount of Double Dragon gameplay. So this is gonna be cool. It's not what Jay Pace is Double Dragon on your top 10 must have titles. Probably not.
No.
Yeah, it's not for me either. But it's just like, this is new and exciting. Let's add it. I want it. Like, if we get back to this picture here, like, look at that. Like, so it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, no, Double Dragon 1 and 2, they're fun games. They're not the best games, but they're fun in their own right. Like, they're fun co-op games. They're really fun fighters. But to me, yeah, it's the other bonus games we're gonna get on there. It's the 9/10 scale. The like the look of it. Yeah, I don't know. They could come out with just about anything in that form factor.
Anything that's bigger now, it's like, please, a Frogger XL. Let's do it. Like,
you just read my mind. I was about to say Frogger. Yeah,
it's a whole new start for home arcade, guys. I'm telling you, for those of you that are in this to win it kind of thing and in it to the end, and those of you that are just getting in, you're coming in at a great time. What a time to be alive, right? Like, this is, it's truly, it's like we're starting from scratch, right? This is going to be dope. It's going to be exciting. I'm really thrilled for it. I will say this, Double Dragon's listening, another suggestion in the suggestion box. So I already said ball tops. Let's do the slowdown, if it's possible, in the game to be turned off or on, so the game doesn't have slowdown. I think that would be kind of cool. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. So, because I know the game, when there's like 3 or 4 characters on there, the game just goes to hell and it slows down really bad. Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of takes people out of it. And I understand the history of that. They were pushing that chipset, which is like nothing, to the max capacity. So I get why they do it, but just, it's really cool. Like, the theming, like, just look at the marquee, the theme music to the levels, the gameplay. It's really cool. It's pretty innovative. This was the first kind of cooperative beat 'em up with, like, weapons and stuff like that. I don't know. There's some history there, which is definitely really cool. And Fat Hog was saying Double Dragon is a beautiful cab. Love that Taito side art.
How many games do you get to beat a hooker with a whip? Right? Like,
not many, right?
Let's rally behind that, guys.
I think Final, you could do it in Final Fight, right? You could do a little bit of that in Final Fight. I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah. So Mike B says, Jay, you destroyed the show here. He's dumber now because of listening to you. So Michael B, poo for you. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, you're great. Oh man. So wait, somebody's having some problems here. I know there's a little side chatter. Says Octoman Game says, does anyone have the Iconic Arcade image file for the XC cab? My Alpha cab crapped out and Iconic isn't helping me. That's been one of the things too. Like, the support has been kind of mid, for this kind of rollout. So I don't. Jason has messaged them.
Yeah, well, I'll say this too about the support, where I've heard situations where key figures of the Iconic Arcade team have personally, like, stopped what they're doing, contacted people on their own private lines, helped them get their cabinet back up and operational. And I've heard that happen a bunch of times from a bunch of different people, a bunch of different sources. I'm not naming names. I'm trying to get better at that. But yeah, it's true. This is a fact that the overall support of the company, it's lacking. I still think it goes back to the fact that their communication sucked over the entire pre-order period from January on. They had the lawsuit. I even think during a lawsuit, you could be able to communicate something to say that, even just to come out and say, we've had whatever. We're incommunicado for 6 months. Talk to you at the end. I don't know. Just to not say anything for as long as they did, and then to the support now. Yeah, I'm hearing what you are. I'm hearing people that are getting these incredible results where they're contacting and key figures are reaching out and helping them out and getting their cabs back. And I'm also hearing people are not getting the kind of support that they should. So it sucks. Yeah, I don't want to make excuses for a company that I love.
No, and I think a lot of it, guys, too, is like iconic. This is new, right? Arcade 1UP didn't have the best customer service support when they first came out, and then they turned that ship around real quick, and they had excellent customer support to the tune of where I would reach out to them just to buy parts from them, and they would sell them to me, right? Like, so it's great. I think it's just you're gonna have to give them time. Wonderland was the same way right now. Like, people are trying to reach out to Wonderland. It's like a, who's who kind of thing too. I think you gotta, unfortunately, it is what it is. I wish they would kind of implement this before launching the product out. But like Octoman Games is saying, is like his machine's been down for like a month. Like, that's horrible, So there's been some recommendations in the chat who to reach out to. But yeah, if like you're not in tune in this community, like if you're just like just an average person that doesn't watch this stuff, it's like, what do you do? At this point, you just return it, But that kind of sucks. So they got to really get through those dotting the I's and crossing the T's moment kind of thing. But I think they're gonna get there. I mean, it took Arcade 1UP a little bit too, so who knows? Dark Realm, thank you so much, man, for stopping on by. You're stopping on by as we're about to wrap things up, guys. Jay Pace, I appreciate you being here. I think we touched on everything new to Home Arcade. We never got to talk about James Bond though.
Next show, bring me on for the next one, and I can tell you all about it. Quickly, I highly recommend if you ever liked GoldenEye. It's just fantastic. They spent a lot of money designing the game, and it just feels like it. It's great. All the set pieces, the music, the action. Yeah, having a lot of fun with James Bond. So bring me back. Cool. We can talk about that. I think we should still have some more meat on the bone. We could talk about both pluses and minuses for Iconic Arcade Street Fighter. So yeah, we got some more shows to do in the future, buddy. Me and you.
100%. As these products roll out, man, there's going to be a lot of cool things. Like there's going to be a lot of happenings, and it's finally like Home Arcade's got that it factor where it's not so much like, oh, let me just buy this and let me mod it into that, and I hope everything goes good. Like, it got to a point like that where it was like, well, like me, I don't know how to put pies and stuff. I'm going to figure that out with G.I. Joe build, but I didn't know how to do that stuff. So I just was like, well, I guess I could just buy this Mortal Kombat 2 Deluxe and reskin it into a Bubbles cabinet. But there was always that ceiling there where that was it, So we're just kind of going to be cycling through the same stuff. And I think where did Tim say? Yeah, Dr. Torque said, do we think Bubble Bobble, Arkanoid, Elevator Action Kicks, like, will be included on this cabinet? Is that even possible? Dude, if there was Kicks on there, that would be dope. That is a highly underrated game. I love playing that game. Bubble Bobble would be cool.
How could Arkanoid? Arkanoid is I would love to have Arkanoid, but yeah, isn't that a spinner? I'd love for them to come out. Yeah, this is a quick side note. I'd love for them to come out with a spinner based game, which is different from what I'm actually thinking leading up to, which is I want an Ikari Warriors, which that's where you're actually the joystick notches as a spinner. That's something different than the Arkanoid spinner. But no, I don't think you could do both. You wouldn't. No. Because the Arkanoid spinner was like it's almost like the volume dial on Earth. You know what? It's like a weighted
you could do like a joystick with that, I guess, but it wouldn't feel the same, right? So like that's a good point, Tim. Like, because to me, I'm just looking at this as Double Dragon 1 and 2, and really just Double Dragon, to be quite honest with you. So I'm kind of just, that's where I'm at, right? Like I don't know. So like for those of you that like WrestleFest, for example, I'm just playing the WrestleFest. I don't even touch the other games. I don't even touch Superstars. I'm just playing WrestleFest on it. So I'm kind of at that point where it's like the more games is not necessarily more better, even though it gives you the opportunity to dive in and touch them and play them and whatever the case may be. I mean, the Iconic Arcade, though, has a good selection of games, right? So you can play, but I mainly do that for the Street Fighter. 1944, though, I will say, it's great to have that one back. I really did miss that one. So maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll enjoy playing a lot of Magic Sword. Who knows? Like, right? But I guess, yeah, we'd like to see a games list, and maybe that's right around the corner since, like, John D has this in his house. He's built it. It may not be running the games list, but maybe he'll leak that out to, a couple of YouTubers, and we'll be able to talk about that, because I'm sure he's going to want to build the hype for that, because this is his next baby project kind of thing. So, we've had Street Fighter, and they're going to have to fix out the issues with that, and then Double Dragon's coming. So hopefully they can iron that stuff out so we can kind of get Double Dragon sooner than later, because I hate waiting on these things, I don't know.
I a while ago I thought it was going to be the end of May. I thought there was these hints where some elements in the community were saying it could be the end of May, as early as then, where we were able to pre-order Double Dragon. I think we want it to come out and be a success. We wanted them to avoid any kind of pitfalls they've had, just like when I think John had to send back the golden sample for the Iconic Arcades back in January or something. So, really, I'm sure it's going to put it through its paces, and in the end, we're going to get a better product. I want it sooner rather than later too, buddy. I'm with you. If for some reason, tomorrow we wake up and wake up tomorrow when the firmware patch is here to fix everybody's Street Fighter cabinets that's down, and we get online, and then they say, and Double Dragon pre-orders are open. Wow, that's the good news I'm waiting for.
There's a lot of stuff coming. So, like, just a quick kind of, just, you got both the World Warrior and Alpha 2 available right now, so you can buy those. So that's 2. You got WrestleFest, that's 3. You're gonna have Sonic and 2 said titles from Arcade 1-Up that we know should be available in 2026. We're at 6 right now. Double Dragon's supposed to have, or Iconic Arcade's supposed to have Double Dragon. That's 7. And there's supposed to be one other one that could be another skin. So right now we're looking at like 9, which, 9 offerings is really cool. And plus the TMNT from Wonderland. That's some cool, exciting stuff. Plus, you know what? You can't see it. It's off camera, but I got my big quarter arcade scale display, which already I have to upgrade. So I got to get new shelving to kind of stack it up to the ceiling, because I have so many so far. So they're going to be, Polybius is coming, and there's going to be other stuff down the pipeline. This is just exciting for products to be able to enjoy, to build onto home arcade, and I'm ready to roll. We still got to do lights in here and artwork, and we're going to have fun with that. And before we get out of here, Galaga Guy was gracious enough to make us do a little super chat sounder, so let's get into it. Dude, let's go. Thank you, Galaga Guy, for supporting the channel. $5 super chat coming in hot. It says, your Iconic is about the same size as your Arcade 1-Up XLs. It's amazing. These are all about the same size. At least your 1-Ups aren't $1,500 MSRP. Yeah, it is cool. Like, to have 2 different companies, like Galaga Guy, 100%, like, to have 2 different companies be able to put out these. Can you imagine, Jay? We had to go through this. If you were an XL fan, you got 1 choose a year, right? 1 XL a year, and it was whatever the retailer wanted to buy. So you would either be stuck with this, that, or the other. And to be quite honest with you, your Midway Golden Tees, your Shack Jams were messed up with the screens. That it's like those were 2 just were mid. Then you had this Midway Golden Tee mashup Midway thing, and it's just like, what is that? And really, they only did it right with Pac-Man XL and the Killer Instinct Pro. And that was it. So you had 2 cabinets, right, to build your home arcade off of. And that's why a lot of people never went to the XL line or leaned towards that. But now it's just a totally different ball game. So it's definitely going to be really cool to see. And then, yeah, that $1,500 MSRP thing You just kind of shake your head at that, right? Like, what was going on with that? But I'll let Arcade Insiders explain all that jazz. That's just don't, nobody should be buying these things for eBay pricings or whatever. No, just buy it when they're on sale. We'll guide you to the pricing for that for sure. But yeah, don't pay more than what the MSRP, what $8.99 I think it is, or $7.99 is the MSRP in these things. That's really the cap out. But yeah, it is cool to see this stuff. I mean, they all are the same size. You can kind of see it's really not that crazy, from a deluxe to an XL, but it's enough oomph, and the screen size is just a little bit bigger that, okay, this is better. And for the WrestleFest, for example, like that was on mega sale. I don't know if it still is, but it was like cheaper than the Ultra version of it. So
it's back to normal price. Yeah, it's back $649, I think is what it's back to.
Such a good deal. That was such a good deal. Yeah.
Anyone that got it for $449, that was awesome.
And for those of you real quick that if Jay, for those of you that are always like, well, I'll wait for it to go on sale. I bought mine pretty much right away. Not waited a couple of weeks, but you can always price match it, guys. I just price matched it twice. So you don't have to wait for these clearance prices. Just buy it and price match it. So you can do that and get your money back, so. Jason Lalanley, before we get out of here, says, I'd love to see a Supreme-sized Tempest. Yeah, that would be incredible. We never really got, like, a good Tempest. The deluxe one that we had a real bad PCB that would always blow out. I don't think so, Galaga Guy. No 10 out of 10 recommendation for the Sonic. No, all kidding aside, like, my two little kids would love it. But, again, it's not for me. But...
Tempest that's a vector-based game, if I remember correctly. It had a spinner too, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, there's other vector games. Star Trek. Man, I'd love to see Star Trek, which is, again, I think that's a spinner, and it's vector-based as well. I would freak out over a Star Trek. Before we finish. I always say this in chats. Now I'll say it live on your channel, just in case anybody's listening now or in the future. Spy Hunter, and Road Blasters. If you can squeeze the Road Blasters on there too. Yeah.
So I hear this a lot about the Spy Hunter conversation.
Yeah.
And I've played the game at the arcades, but I have no nostalgia for it, right? I don't personally see the hype for it, but do you want it because it's just like a new title, right?
No.
It's just like something fresh, or is that something that that's in your top 5 holy grail kind of thing?
For me, it's if I could get a sit down Spy Hunter, to me it is a holy grail. But barring the sit down version, I'll take the stand up. I'll take the stand up version of Spy Hunter. When I was going to Galloping Ghost, the guy at the border stopped me. He's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh," he kind of caught me off guard. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to an arcade with my wife." He's like, "You're going to an arcade from Canada?" It's like, "Oh yeah, but it's not just any arcade." And I started to get into it. I'm like, "I'm going into the biggest arcade in the world. It's Galloping Ghost." And the guy, without missing a beat, he's like, "Yeah, and what game are you looking forward to the most?" And he kind of leans in a little bit. And I was like, and I was of two minds. I was like, this guy is he even a gamer? So I was going to say, let's just say Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, give him a title that he's familiar with to kind of move on. But I was honest with the guy. I was like, I want to see a sit down Street Fighter. Sit down Spy Hunter. It's my dream game. I hope they've got one. And so I'm talking to the border guy about my favorite dream game. If any company was to come out with a Spy Hunter, to me it would. You'd want to have other games on there. Ideally, maybe you could put on a Road Blasters as well, and maybe a few other good driving games. But Spy Hunter is a lot of fun. The music. The action to me was we didn't talk about James Bond, but to me there was no James Bond arcade game, and my father raised me on James Bond movies, all of them. I saw them a bunch of times, and I'd go to the arcade and I'd feel like James Bond. I'd feel like I was an Octopussy. the car that can go under the water and stuff and shoot rockets at helicopters. It was like, it was like, it wasn't called James Bond, but to me, it was like a James Bond game. And yeah, so to me, that's what it is. It's like James Bond in the arcade. It's a really, really fun game. When you go to Galloping Ghost, you'll play it there. And maybe you'll fall in love with it a little bit more.
And see, that would be something that'd still be like, yeah, I would add that to the arcade, right? Because it's an actual real arcade title. Like, it's not Sonic or something that's just kind of like Midway Golden Team mashed up. Like, this is actually something that's like, yeah, that would be, yeah, no nostalgia, but I would still add it, right? That makes sense, because there's been a lot of things like Dragon's Lair. I had no nostalgia, but I added it and I wanted to give it a shot, you know? So yeah, I would still, yeah.
It's like Star Wars. It's like, you know, part of the joy with Star Wars, it's got the correct controls. It's got that yoke.
Yeah.
Spy Hunter, you'd have to have the yoke. It's got the triggers. Ideally, there's a button you press where you get the truck to come and you drive into the back of it like Knight Rider. You get your different mods on your car. Yeah, but it's very iconic, to think, for lack of a better word. It's the look of Spy Hunter. It's got the buttons when they light up for the different, you get like smoke screen and your oil slick and your missiles and stuff. Yeah, I love Spy Hunter.
That's cool. Yeah.
I've always
hear it all
championed
the
Spy
time.
Hunter.
Yeah. Exactly. I always, yeah.
I feel like it was, I don't want to, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but I feel like we get a Spy Hunter, I feel like I will be at least part responsible, because it's a title I've always kind of pushed, and I'm hearing other people mention it too. So I can't take full credit for the Spy Hunter push, the Get Loud push for Spy Hunter, but man, I would love a Spy Hunter. Sorry you're trying to shut down the show, and I'm
always in the mindset, like, I'm right now just like, I'm gonna take what comes to me, you know, like, I'm just excited to kind of just see where this home arcade ride kind of takes us, and to kind of see where this map becomes reality for 2026 and beyond. And whatever titles come, it's going to be like, oh, okay, well, I never thought that could be possible, or, oh, okay, that's a rehash, but I kind of want it, you know, because of this new form factor, right? So I'm excited no matter what. It's kind of a new light. It's going to, can you imagine like actually like owning a home and having a dope ass basement with like, you know, 10 of those, you know, Wonderland pinballs, and like you got 50 XL arcades all moving and grooving? Like, that would be dope, you know? I want to get to that point, right? You want to get to that point. But yeah, I was born in the 80s. I was born in 86. What are you talking about? You're stupid. So I'm really excited just to kind of wait and see, and just kind of like hear these announcements and get these teasers and see what, you know, Iconic Arcade has up their sleeve as well, what Arcade went up, because, you know, there are still, guys, believe it or not, there's 3 titles that are coming out that we don't even know about, right? You know, Iconic Arcade has hinted 80s for their next 3rd release, and Arcade One Up has teased that there's 2 big bangers that we're going to be able to see in person. So this is all very just exciting, and then TMNT's coming as well. A lot of products to finally make moves on. I think that's the kind of takeaway, that we're just kind of waiting with bated breath here. It's like, come on, let's have it. Let's have it. We got our Alpha 2. We got our WrestleFest already. Keep it coming. Let's go. Let's keep this train not stopping. And I got my G.I. Joe mod ready to go. So I got to get on that. I still got to get the house put together, but I got to get on that so I can show you guys, because that'll be another exciting little project too. But Jay, I appreciate you coming on the show, having fun with me. We'll have to have you back, and we'll talk more arcade stuff. You know, this is what we do for a living. So is there anything you want to plug or promote? I mean, are you on your channel? You're gonna start doing something, or what?
Yeah, it's a slow roll. I was trying to start a review for this thing, but part of me wants to wait until online comes out. Not that that's, you know, any kind of like I think it's an excuse for me to kind of be lazy a little bit on the content, because it's tough to put out this stuff. I want to start putting out better quality content. Part of what I wanted to do was to kind of get this set up right here, buy a condenser mic, get a camera in the correct position. Maybe eventually one day I'll be able to go live, but I wanted to have this set up before I even considered that. Yeah, it's just a slow grow. I'm not racing against any kind of deadlines. I'd like to be able to put out more content. I will be putting out more content in the future. I want to have a lot of fun with the channel. That's the point I want to try to make. It's just to kind of bring a little bit more fun, inject a little bit more enjoyment into the home arcade community. I'd love to. Part of my dream is to get online going for this thing, and to try to have almost like play like competitions and co-op playthroughs, and we can kind of shoot for scores, see how far you can get on one quarter playthrough at the same time. To me, getting the online is a kind of a big part of that, because it'll track high scores for us. We'll be able to have our usernames, our online usernames. We can kind of watch for each other and get into these rooms and stuff. So yeah, I'm not gonna plug my own channel just yet. If you guys do believe in me bringing out more content in the future, you can look for my channel. It's called Red Alert Home Arcade. There's just a couple little videos on there right now, more to come in the future. Yeah, that's about it. I'm really thankful that you invited me on the show. I had a blast. 2 hours went like that. Yeah, let's do it again, buddy.
That's right, baby. Home Arcade is back, Jay Pace. Let's get hyped. Let's get up, get out the way. For that, guys, we appreciate it, Jason, for plugging the channel. There you go, guys. Go click the link, give him a sub, check out what he's got going on. Jay Pace is only gonna grow from here. Took my advice, got the right mic, so I appreciate it, my guy. You sound fantastic now. Not like you didn't before, but gets that girthy voice. Let's do this, baby. So, guys, we're going to end it here. 2 hours deep, 2 hours and 2 minutes. I'm going to go enjoy my burger and maybe see if my wife needs help with stuff. If she doesn't, I'll be able to enjoy my Iconic maybe till like midnight. We'll see what happens, guys. Well, Jay, I appreciate you joining me on the show. Guys, I appreciate you in the comments getting loud, getting proud, getting hyped. I appreciate to be back, baby. Oh, my God, it seems like it's been forever. I got to get back into the swing of things. Look for the channel. We got to get that G.I. Joe mod like moving and grooving on that. I'll show you guys how to do it if you want to do your own mod, or if you want to mod it into something else. I know Athog did the Cowboys of Moo Mesa, phenomenal mod as well. So go check that out. I'm sure you guys have already seen it. We've showed pictures in the show. It just looks cool to see these different kind of arcades that will probably never come to fruition. So it's cool to be able to mod these things, but I can yap all day about this stuff. Go enjoy your home arcades, guys. Let's get out of here. Jay Pace, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks for stopping by.